Shabbat Shalom. We begin our worship on page 128 with Ma Yafeh Hayom. How lovely today is. Shabbat Shalom.
Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. We continue now with Romemu in the middle of page 135. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Please join me now in Lecha Dodi as we welcome the Sabbath bride on pages 138 and 139. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi
And we now continue with the lighting of the Shabbat candles.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us, as their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We continue on page 125. Where has this week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished? Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat abide. Help me to withdraw for a while from the flight of time, contain the retreat of the hours and days from the grasp of frantic life. Let me learn to pause, if only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter into a quiet world this day. On this day, Shabbat abide.
Continue now on page 144. Yitkadal veyitkadash shmei Rabba.
Amen.
Be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei.
B'chayechon ufyomechon ufchayei chol Beit Yisrael. Bagala uvizman kariv.
Veimeru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba mevorach, le'olam ul'olmei almaya, yitbarach, yitbarach ve'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam ve'yitnaseh, ve'yitadar ve'yitale ve'yitalal, Shemei dekudsha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma, v'imeru, Amen.
We continue with Baruch Hu, our call to worship on page 146. Please rise if you are able. Page 148. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, v'chokhmah poteach she'arim, uvitfuna meshane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umisader et hakochavim, v'mishmerotehem barakir kirtzono. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom umevi layla, umavdil ben yom uven layla, Adonai tzavaot shemo, el chai v'kayam tamid imloch aleinu leolam va'ed, baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Page 150.
Ahavat olam beit Yisrael, amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu, b'shochbeinu v'kumeinu, nasiach b'chukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratcha, u'b'mitzvotecha, le'olam, le'olam va'ed. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael, amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Ki hem chayenu be'orech yameinu, uvahem neged yomam v'layla, ve'ahavatcha al tasir mimenu le'olamim, le'olamim. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael, amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael, ohev amo Yisrael. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael, amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta.
So invite us to take a deep breath in and exhale out. Take another deep breath in as we breathe in that sense of Shabbat. And exhale out, Mishagas. Another deep breath in as we breathe in that sense of shalom, of wholeness and completeness. And exhale out all that negative energy within us.
Open up our eyes, teach us how to live, fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך, בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Together on page 155. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work. Whether you are tired or you are rested, let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai, your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai, your God.
We continue on page 157. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. We continue on page 158 with Mi Chamocha. We continue on page 162 with Vishamru.
השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, לדורותם ברית עולם.
We are a people in whom the past endures, in whom the present is inconceivable without moments gone by. The Exodus lasted a moment enduring forever. What happened once upon a time happens all the time. We continue now with the central portion of our worship with our tefillah. Please rise if you are able.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, ve'Koneh Hakol, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומיתו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Days pass and the years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. God, fill our eyes with seeing and our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when your presence, like lightning, illumines the darkness in which we walk. Help us to see wherever we gaze that the bush burns unconsumed, and we, clay touched by God, will reach out for holiness and exclaim in wonder, how filled with awe is this place, and we did not know it. Blessed is the Eternal One, the Holy God. Page 173. We join together. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat. Page 175 on the bottom of the page. You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, and our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still, clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance. And let our worship bring us closer to one another, that all Israel and all who seek you may find new strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'otcha levadcha bi'ir'ah na'avod. Page 177. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha lacher na'eh lehodot.
Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha. Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav. Ki ata u'melech Adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata u'melech Adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha. Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך, בשלומך. Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha. Shalom Rav, Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav.
I invite us now to take a deep breath in and exhale out as we now reflect on that makor shalom, that source of peace that lies within each one of us, as we pause now in silent reflection. We now focus our energies toward those who are ill and in need of healing. On this Shabbat, we think of Jason Adams, Sally Amarendez, Adam Barish, Chana Bat Miriam, Eliana Bat Chana, Abby Perbaker, Tony Berliner, Dr. Arnold Berliner, Robert Berg, Sarah Beinstock, Sandy Beinstock, Rich Burns, Esther Burton, Dr. Ed Kahn, Bob Kent, Simone Cardenet, Nicole Chapman, Hadley Crane, Celeste Donley, Elise Epstein, Peter Fadum, Jason Fishoff, Carolyn Franklin, Barbara Friedman, Sandy Friedman, Holly Fugit, Betty Garcia, Julie Gleaves, Jennifer Guerrera, Courtney Hansen, Lee Henderson, Celeste Hutchinson, Barbara Jackowitz, Rita Kane, Evelyn Katz-McCosker, Petrus Lacey, Liatzvia Batliba Ve'elchanan, Janice Lucero, Young Sung Lot, Father Bill Leninger, Shirley Lerner, Gary Levine, Penny Levine, Bobby Lotman, Austin Lucero, Eva Misley, Peggy Monroe, Brad Parkins, Melanie Pearson, Judy Pell, Harriet Reisner, Esther Richmond, Stan Rudman, Carol Ross, Marilyn Rudy, Richard Rusnak, Dolores Sams Hoy, Laura Sanders, Leslie Schneider, Donna Shine, Corrine Silverman, Sybil Summer, Donna Thyman, Pham Tai Trang, Martha Walker, Teresa Walsh, Claire Cecil Watson, Jeannie Watson, Nancy Weisenfeld, Karen Williams, Sue Witten, Sherman Wong. We continue now with the word of Torah. This week's Torah portion, Ki Tavo, from the book of Deuteronomy, is the completion of the Deuteronomic Code, and it features two major categories of laws, ritual and moral, and civil and social. Also in the portion is a large section of blessings and curses. What is interesting about the blessings and curses section is that the blessings are just stated, but the curses go into great detail. The question we may want to ask is, why are the curses mentioned in such detail? The great commentator Ibn Ezra says, blessings are uttered in broad terms, while curses are stated in greater detail to awe and frighten the listeners. To awe and frighten the listener? That seems to support the idea that most people just want to be told what to do and not think for themselves. We see this often in religion and with government. Put on a show, a spectacle, and don't let people know what is happening behind the scenes. It is a great way to control people and get what you want, and you don't need to have any integrity. There are two theological statements in this week's portion too, though. One, the future is bound to the covenant, and two, the book, that is the Torah, is openly accessible to all Israel and is not a hidden document in the control of a special caste or group of people. If the goal is not to be a hidden document, then the idea of awe and frightening the listener could be viewed as a contradiction. But ultimately, the accessibility of Torah is a reminder to each of us that we have the duty and the responsibility to come to Torah regardless of our status in this world. For all humanity is equal in the sight of God. Wouldn't it be nice if all of humanity saw itself as equal? Then maybe we would not need to awe and frighten anyone. We could just be ourselves. What a wonderful, wonderful goal that would be. To be ourselves and not have to put on any air, any mishigas, any appearance for another. Just be who we are. I'd like that for this Shabbat. May we all have that inner strength to be who we really are, and not to be thinking of all those other voices and other ideas out there that are trying to change who we really are. Be who you are. Amen.
Osi v'simratya vayehili lishua. Osi v'simratya vayehili lishua.
We continue with Elena on page 586. Please rise if you're able.
Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, la'tet gedula le'otzer breshit, shehu notei shamayim ve'oser haaretz, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת עוזו בגופי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
On this Shabbat, we think of those that are grieving the first year mourning, the Shana, for Gary Acknan, Marion Bergoffen, Raymond Berman, Rabbi Samuel Brody, Carrie Broding, Laura Bruckheimer, Alexander Brustein, Stephen Ronnie Bush, Idel Kagan, Dr. Bernard Cohen, Dory Cohen, Rabbi Sissy Koren, Vivian David, Rebecca Lindecker, Benny Schumann Donald, Jean Donley, Vladimir Doktorovich, Mark Emanuel, Bert Epstein, Glenn Farber, Beverly Furman, Mar Fox, Helen Marchik Goldman, Mel Grant, Bernice Green, Lorna Hoffman, Joan Hammer, Susan Hammer, Dolores Jaffe, Seema Jaffe, Jerry Kane, Lori Kaplan, Lori LeMay, David Dudi Messinger, Irene Neal, Richard Pascoe, Nancy Pfister, Curtis Lee Robinson, Rabbi Kenneth Roseman, Laura Marie Rosen, Edith Rosenberg, Barbara Rudnecki, Victor Ratner, Fred Retchen, Leo Rinsler, Ron Roth, Lorraine Samuel, Jane Schwartz, Ruth Silen, Marilyn Silver, Sophie Siemens, Francis Singer, Alice Sklar, Sandra Sokolek, Bruce Summer, Bernard Spillman, Joan Rusnak-Weinberg. We also think of the following yahrzeits that we observe on this Shabbat as we think of Pam Allison, Benjamin Aronson, Naftali Bahar, Jacob Berman, Ruth Bernstein, Shirley Blauner, Suzanne Blickman, Rebecca Bortz, Jean Brister, Sarah Brockman, Rachel Brown, Jack Cherkasky, Morris Hused, Ephraim Engelman, Harry Forster, Edward Fox, Evelyn Fox, Sarah Friedman, George Goldstein, Al Greenberg, Ron Hoffman, Louis Hoffman, Edward Kraft, Andre Zlauber, Irene Levine, Sonia Meyer, Fred Paul Miller, Bernard Nathan, Carl Pearson, Daniel Pollock, Jack Port, Elaine Perwin, Louise Recht, Ann Richmond, Roberta Mendel Rivera, Carolyn Robinson, Donald Rosen, Winnie Scare, Fran Chusett, Nathan Siegel, Gladys Sussman Maxey, Amy Schwartz, Henry Tucker, Hubert Turnbull, Ninny Unger, Blima Billy Walters, George Weintraub, David Werba, Michael White, Elizabeth Wilbur, Edith Ziff. Zichronam Livracha. May the memories of all of our loved ones endure as a blessing as we continue with our Mourner's Kaddish.
Oh, we're good. Okay.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברך ירותי והמליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בישראל, בעגלה וזמן קריב אמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם עולמי עלמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ותרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה ברכו. לעולם מכל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה משמיה, v'chayim aleinu v'kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Osei shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'kol Yisrael, v'imru amen.
Hava, hava nashira, shir hallelujah, shir hallelujah. Hava, hava nashira, shir hallelujah, shir hallelujah. Hava, hava nashira, shir